Hey friend, welcome to Self-Transformed, a podcast redefining self-care through simple fitness, nutrition, and mindset habits. I'm your host, Emily Nichols, certified personal trainer, Whole30 coach, and Taco Tuesday enthusiast. Hey, I know the struggle is real when it comes to taking care of you. I too am a busy working mom who felt physically and emotionally drained until I took action on my own transformation journey. I finally found the solutions to feeling confident and living a healthy lifestyle that doesn't feel hard, and now I'm on a mission to equip you with sustainable tools to help transform your life from the inside out, guilt-free. Together, we will simplify your health and fitness into daily habits that don't feel like another thing on your long to-do list, but daily actions that light you up instead. So if you're ready to redefine self-care and step into your own self-transformation, then let's do this. Hey friend, you're listening to another bonus episode of Self-Transformed. Thanks so much for joining me. Thanks for everyone that has signed up for Self-Transform You, my new signature 6-week program. You have until Monday, May 10th to sign up because that is day one when we start, and I'd love to have you join us. Just go to selftransformu.com to reserve your spot so you can start your inside out transformation and curate your own simple and realistic health and fitness plan that's gonna last for life, girl. So let's get into today's episode. I wanted to share a little personal story with you about what happened to me when I finally invested in myself and hired my own business coach. Okay, so this has been probably a 2-year process for me. My business has been growing. I've been looking to find more clarity, more ways to streamline what I'm doing with the podcast and my coaching programs, but also be able to offer my services that are going to best help you, my audience, and really clarifying who you are and what I can be doing to best serve you. And obviously, my zone of genius all revolves around wellness, self-care. It focuses on fitness, nutrition, and mindset habits. And that keyword habits, tying that all together is what makes what I do different from any other health and fitness coach out there that you're seeing. Is we're going to tie in your habits and have some real strategy behind your health and fitness plan to make it stick. Because I know, just like me, I know you have started and stopped things so many times in your life. And it took me a while to come to realize this, and I wanted to hire a coach to help me do just that. And I was able to articulately tell you who I coach and what I do now is because I have been working with a business coach for this first quarter, almost 4 months now, actually, in 2021. And I am going to share kind of what I learned as far as hiring a coach and what I was looking for, so you can take this same information thinking about how you can go about hiring a coach, whether it be a business coach, health and fitness coach, career coach, whatever kind of coach to help you. You know, being a coach myself, I feel like I'm very coachable, but this was a very hard process for me because I knew I needed help. I needed to actually do the transaction of paying someone to help me to up-level what I was doing. And like I said, it took me 2 freaking years to find the right person for me. And it's just because I wasn't aligned yet with who I am as a transformation coach and a couple other logistics as well, which I'll get into with these tips. So I have 10 tips. They're really quick and dirty and easy. So let's get into it. So the number one thing you need to ask yourself when you are looking to hire some type of coach or mentor in your life is, why do you want to change, and what is the ultimate outcome that you're looking for? Okay, why do you want to change, and what is the ultimate outcome you're looking for? And can this coach help you do that? Okay, thinking about your why do you want to change? What are your goals? What is the outcome? And can this coach help you? Have you seen them do this with other clients? Have you seen testimonials? You know, I'm posting a lot of testimonials right now of clients who have worked with me the past couple of years in their own transformation journey. And I know I can help people get that inside out transformation. when I was going about hiring my own coach, I interviewed a couple of folks. One, it felt like artificial. It felt too like a business transaction and not a real relationship, which was something that was really important to me. I was really listening to my gut during this. I had one coach that I was interviewing say, "Oh, I just paid for my last coach and didn't even, tell my husband, and it was a really big investment." And for me, I was like, I don't like that, and that she's advising me in a roundabout way that's okay with I could do something because I had mentioned to her, I need to talk to my husband. She goes, "Oh, I just do things and tell my husband later." I'm like, that doesn't really sit well with me. So what is your gut telling you as you're thinking about hiring a coach? Is there someone out there that you're listening to their podcast, you follow them on social media, where you're like, man, I just have a gut feeling that she can help me? Okay. So number 2, interview them. Like I said, I've interviewed quite a few business coaches over the past year. And like I said, the reason why is so if they say statements like that last coach I interviewed said, "I know that's not in line with who I am. I don't think I want to do that." So they want to be able to answer your questions for you and really overcome any objections you have and challenges you have to see if it's a right fit, because it may not be a right fit, and they probably don't want to work with you either if you guys aren't going to be moving in the same direction, having the same vibe with each other. Number 3, get your partner's support. Get your partner's support. So I was throwing little nuggets my husband's way. I made a big presentation about hiring a coach. Like, I got onto Canva and I made a big pretty presentation because he is a very analytical, black and white numbers person. So I was like, here is what I think, here's what we can do, blah 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 blah. And he was just like, okay, and then we co-interviewed a couple of coaches until finding the right fit for me. So that's really important. If you're making an investment, you need to have your partner's support. That way you're going into that new coaching opportunity with that really good feeling, not just like, I hope my husband's not going to be mad that I spent money on this. Okay. Number 4, we kind of already alluded to this, but do you vibe with them? Okay. Do you vibe with them? So the reason I bring this up, and I kind of just alluded to it in the couple other tips. I ended up going with a faith-based business coach, Stephanie Gass. I love you, girl. Thank you so much. And I did that because I've been on my own personal journey with my faith and getting closer to God, relying on Him and being faithful that I know He's going to take care of me professionally, personally, emotionally, spiritually. And so I really vibed with her. And like I said, I was kind of dropping little hints for my husband as well as we were getting closer to interviewing Steph to be my business coach. I was playing her podcasts, and I play podcasts all the time and books, so he hears a lot of really great stuff too, but he would hear it in the car if we were together. He would hear it, while I was getting ready in the morning. I remember when we were in Florida this past fall, I was playing some of her podcast episodes, and he was in the other room listening, and he was like, "Man, I just really feel like you would vibe with her too, and I like what she's saying as well. You don't have to be on social media 1,000 million hours a week in order to run a successful business. You need to rely on God and your faith." And he was like, that just sounds more in line with who you are. So can you vibe with this person? Going back to that gut feeling. Number 5, can they relate to you? So this is important to me personally. It may or may not be important to you. You may want to go a little bit outside of this if that's a totally different avenue that your coach has been in or whatnot. But a similar story. So they've personally done their own transformation. They've been through their own transformation, a similar transformation that you are hoping for in your life, and they're successful. Whether that would be a body transformation, a mindset transformation, a transformation in the relationship with their spouse, and they are successful. I feel like this is important because they're able to relate to you. They've done some of the hard work ahead of you, and they're able to relate to you and get you there quicker versus than what they did. Number 6, do they challenge you to get to that transformation? So will they be honest with you and call you out on your BS? Okay, so funny story. So my very first call with my business coach, Steph, I was in the shower that morning praying to Jesus, like, oh my gosh, please let this go really well. Dustin and I interviewed her, and I was just so nervous. And I was nervous because I knew she was going to tell me to change the name of my podcast. I just knew it. I felt God was already whispering it in my ear before we even got on the call, because I knew I needed to get a little bit more clarity, not polarize so many people just with the word self-care in my old podcast title. And I knew she was going to bring that up, and she did. And it took us probably about 2 more calls after that, maybe, and a lot of back and forth on helping me title the podcast to Self-Transformed, until it finally felt right to me, and it finally felt right to her as well from her professional opinion. That challenged me. And every call, our first few calls, my palms would just sweat because I knew she was going to push me to be uncomfortable. And nobody likes to be uncomfortable, but guess what? That's where the change and the transformation happens. So she was super duper honest with me. Like, I was fighting her. I was trying to keep the word self-care in my podcast title so many different ways. And I'm like, well, what about this? What about this? And she was just like, no, it doesn't feel right. And and all in all, it was my decision. If in the end, she was like, if this feels not the right path for you, then do what you got to do, girl. But it was the right thing. And she challenged me and called me out on my BS pretty much. And I really appreciated that, because it turned into this wonderful transformation, a way for me to grow the podcast and grow the program more than I ever could if I kept the podcast as Self-Care Isn't Selfish. It was not clear what the show was about. And like I said, it was very polarizing. We could have gone so many different directions with it. Okay, so number 7, do they have a simple system that you can stick with, or is it too overwhelming when looking at it? So let me share another story with you. I've bought courses before. To help me. I've bought like courses on like ab courses. I've bought a lot of personal training courses, exercise courses, business courses. I was part of a membership for one point about growing on Instagram, and then I gave up on that really quick because it was too overwhelming. There was 20,000 different modules in the courses and not a lot of one-on-one help from some of these coaches. And I get it. I mean, there's some courses you can do, like a quick little course, like, oh, okay, that's great. I know how to do this, and move on. But with going with a big transformation, you need some more simplistic coaching in regards to that. When you have too much information thrown at you, you get analysis paralysis. At least I do personally, and that's just too much. So do they have a really simple system that you can stick with that makes sense for the type of transformation you're going with? And number 8, will they set tangible and timely goals with you? So going back again to my own transformation with Steph, and she's pushed me so much this year, and I love it. So will they set tangible and timely goals with you? So we've been working together. She's been helping me plan out Self-Transform You, my new signature 6-week program. And as we were putting it together, kind of the whole skeleton of what the program would look like, I was like, okay, I'm going to launch it in June. And she was like, why not launch it in May? I was like, I don't know. I got a lot to get ready, and, I got to do this. And she's like, you're ready to go now. Launch it in May. So here I am, less than a week away. We start May 10th, and I'm launching it in May. And I was like, she was right. Sitting on it for another month, just trying to plan everything, I may have had failure to launch and not have actually launched it. So she set some really great timely goals with me in each of our calls. I had homework to do and something to get done, which allowed me to gain momentum and keep that momentum going. Whereas when working by myself, I didn't have that momentum and no one to be accountable for. So, and number 9, going into being accountable, they hold you accountable, but the way they do it is going to work for you and your lifestyle. So think of it this way. If you're doing, like with Self-Transform You, we're in a group together. I do a 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. I will host a live workout. You can do it live, or you can do it when it works for you. I will host one coaching call a week, a live coaching call over various topics that we'll be covering in Self-Transform You. You can watch it live or catch it later. It's forever yours once you're part of the Self-Transform You community. And the number of times you're going to meet with that person, thinking about how long. If you're like this, I'm going to have to meet with them every week for 2 hours in the middle of the day, and they're on Pacific time zone, I'm Eastern, and this is dumb. It's not going to work for you. So make sure, they are able to hold you accountable. Like my calls every month with Steph have really held me accountable, but it worked within my lifestyle and my schedule to make it realistic. And number 10, this is probably one of the most super important ones, just speaking from personal and professional experience. Will the investment challenge you enough to keep on track? Okay. So I have offered quite a variety of prices in my courses, and thinking about what feels good to me and affordable to me. I have payment plans as well. And I've noticed my clients who buy my higher dollar programs, they get the transformation because they are more invested financially as well into wanting to get to that outcome, that goal they've set for themselves. And I have offered $50 like little quickie programs and group coaching here and there, and people fall off within a couple of weeks. They haven't fully committed financially to do this. I've made Self-Transform You very affordable. Like I said, I've offered payment plans as well, and the price will be going up the next time I offer it, since this is the first time I'm offering it. So make sure you sign up ASAP if you haven't before Monday the 10th. But I've seen clients do that, and I've done that myself. I've bought little courses here and there, or I'm like, and then I never did it. Or I was supposed to have a coaching call with someone and I totally ghosted them because it wasn't worth the investment to me. Okay, so will the investment challenge you enough to keep on track? And this is something that a big reason why I brought my husband into the interviewing process when hiring a coach, because that was not an inexpensive investment in myself. But when you make that transaction of money, there's energy involved, and it takes you it up levels you to getting to that transformation. So it was a big, scary investment for me to hire a business coach, but it's completely changed the way I have set up my business structure, the way I do things now. And I needed to do it. I needed to get uncomfortable and do this scary thing. And it has led to the biggest transformation of my life. And friend, I want that for you. I know sometimes when thinking about a transformation, it's very overwhelming, and you've tried so many things in the past, and you've started and stopped, and you just haven't found the right person for you. Well, maybe this is the time where you finally stop leaning into what's comfortable and start leaning more into what's uncomfortable. I have been very uncomfortable the past 4 months working with my business coach, but I also have this energy about me and momentum that I wouldn't have gained on my own. So friend, I do want to invite you to still join us for Self-Transform You. We begin Monday the 10th. I'll take registrations until Monday the 10th. I don't want anyone to be behind as we launch the program. Reminder, it's a 6-week live coaching program. It's a group coaching program because I feel like there's power and accountability in being in a tribe together. And it's going to give you just a simple and realistic health and fitness plan that you can actually stick with forever. So there will be obviously a fitness portion. There'll be 6 weeks worth of workouts from me. Now, I had a couple of questions like, how long are the workouts? They're 30 minutes. I want you to do them 5 days a week. It's weight training focused with some HIIT training. I provide modifications options for everybody, so all fitness levels are welcome, and I have fun when I work out, so I hope you do the same. And you can probably laugh at me because I always lose counting reps because that's just how I go, because I end up talking while we're working out. And if you're already doing something else, if you're like, oh, I'm already, riding my Peloton or going to Orange Theory like I do, that's okay. You're able to make these work in your life. If you don't do them Monday through Friday, you got 2 other days a week where you're able to incorporate them, but also be able to have rest days incorporated in there as well, because it feels so good to get that rest and rejuvenate so you're able to come back stronger for those workouts. As far as the nutrition aspect, so I coach on a food freedom method. I've had a couple of ladies ask me, is this focused all around Whole30? No, it is not. This is focused on my food freedom method, really to help you break up with diet culture and start enjoying food again, guilt-free. Like, There's no restriction on this program, but there's going to be a lot of key strategies that we're going to use to really help you evaluate your relationship and your habits with food, and how you can start building your plates from there, recognizing your hunger cues, recognizing your emotional cues as well. So you're able to make decisions for the way you eat based on how you want to feel emotionally and physically. Okay. And then the other big thing is the mindset or habit coaching, which ties it all together. It's a big part of what we're missing in the wellness industry. You know, people talk about, oh, well, here you work out and you eat healthy and it all comes together. Well, they're not taking into consideration like all of the drive time you do taking your kids to sports, and all the time you spend sending emails, and all the Zoom calls you're on right now. And oh, you're trying to have a social life, and oh, you're trying to make dinner. Oh, and it's someone's birthday party. And oh, this kid has a game here. I get it. No one is taking into consideration your daily routines and your habits and the mindset you're coming from right now, where maybe you don't feel confident you're going to be able to start this and actually see it through. We're going to help tie it up in a nice little bow for you to get you there. So the real, sauce, or I guess you could say sour cream on top of your taco, because, I love my tacos and I love a little dollop of sour cream on it, is the workbook or journal/tracker. I'm calling it all three because it includes all. It's going to really help you cultivate your own wellness routine, and we're going to build on it slowly every week to make sure you're not feeling overwhelmed. But at the end of the 6 weeks, you're going to have a cultivated wellness routine that you'll be able to take with you past the 6 weeks, because I don't want it to stop just at 6 weeks. I want this to be a long-term lifestyle change for you that you're able to adapt to as the seasons of your life will change, because, girl, your seasons of your life are going to change. That's just how it is. So, if you found yourself ever saying, I've started over too many times to count. New habits just never stick. I feel guilty when I take time for myself. I just wish I felt more confident. I wish I liked working out. I don't even have time to work out or meal prep, or I'm too busy. I need something that's more realistic, and I need to, just feel good about myself, feel so lit up, and not let these other things control my life. And honestly, just fill your cup up so you're able to pour into your family. Girl, your family is going to see the benefits of you taking care of yourself, and that guilt's just going to go away. The way you're going to be able to make time instead of finding time for yourself, you're going to realize this is realistic and you can do this, and I can help you get there. So, like I said, we start Monday, May 10th. I hope today was eye-opening for you when thinking about hiring a coach, whether it be for your own transformation like I'm offering in Self-Transform You, or any other transformation you're looking into in your life. You got to make sure that this feels right to you. Your gut knows what's up. Trust your gut all the time. We've talked about it on this show before. Your gut is telling you, this is it. This is what is going to get me to that next level. Then I encourage you to go to selftransformyou.com right now. Sign up. Like I said, there's some affordable payment plans if you don't want to pay the whole price up front. Like I said, I made it very affordable this first time since it's my beta group. I'll be offering this a couple times a year, and the price will be going up. So here's your opportunity to at least save a few bucks and break up with diet culture, have some simple fitness and habits that will stick for a lifetime, because, girl, I'm here for you, and I hope if you feel like I'm the coach for you that you would sign up for Self-Transform You. That's all I got. So I really hope you enjoyed today's episode. It was really eye-opening for you in thinking about hiring a coach or a mentor. Come join me over in my free Facebook community. There's always a link in the show notes. I'd love to see you over there. You can catch me doing lives where I'm kind of like, am I on? Am I off? I did a Instagram live last week too, and I hadn't done one in so long, and all of the little buttons look different, so it took me a while to log off. So that was entertaining as well. So yeah, I'm just a real life mom like you, just living life and wanting to encourage other moms to do the same. So if you feel like I'm the coach for you, to go to selftransformyou.com. There's a link in the show notes, and I will see you Monday, May 10th for Self-Transform You. Let's begin this inside out transformation, girl. Hey girl, real quick, before you go, if you love today's show and know your girlfriends need to hear this message too, then grab a screenshot, post it to your Instagram stories, and tag me at EmilyNichols22, because the more mamas out there hearing this message, the more empowered we'll all feel to take care of ourselves so we can pour from a full cup. Or the number one way you can thank me for this podcast is to leave a rating and review in iTunes. That way, more mamas will find the show here too. Love you and appreciate you, girlfriends. See you next time.